Got You're Fired. Another cassette there, so interesting. Hello and welcome to the very first Nasty Metal Productions video of the new year, that being 2021. And what better way to kick off this channel in the new year than with a review? Yes, bringing back the Doomsday's Today Records review, since obviously since last year I had at least had gotten another box, at least was it back in December or so, of new stuff from Paul of Doomsday's Today Records. However, when going back into my box of stuff, on pulling out all the stuff that I need to at least review, the stuff that he at least sent me for reviewing on this channel, I then came across one thing. I don't know why I forgot about this. I was going to plan on reviewing this since I got this on, or at least when I received it in the very first box that I at least got from Paul of Doomsday's Today Records. And I was planning on doing this when I was doing the last run of stuff he had sent me before for the new box back in October. I was planning on it, but I completely forgot to throw it in the pile of Doomsday's Today Records stuff to review. But that is the warning / the end comp from Boston, Massachusetts based hardcore punk band You're Fired. I have had this since the very first box I received from Paul of Doomsday's Today Records, but by accident, I just forgot about it. So I'm making this the very first thing, in many ways, a New Year's resolution that has now finally been fulfilled. Before I get into any of the new stuff, let's get into one of the older ones. So, if you're not familiar with You're Fired, again, they are a hardcore punk band, like I've stated, and they are based out of Boston, Massachusetts, and they were formed all the way back in 2002, and I'll get into some of their story in at least a little bit here in the video. But so again, and they had released at least 2 EPs, and that's what's on here. There are only 2 EPs. That being, again, a Warning from 2003 and The End from 2012. So over a decade ago. So again, one was released 2 decades ago, while the one was released a decade ago. So without further ado, let's get in to my review of this. Alright, so before I really get in to any of the other backstory on You're Fired, let's do a track listing rundown. We got about, of course, since this is 2 EPs, the first EP, Warning, at least had consisted of 9 songs, whereas the second and last EP, The End, also consisted of at least 9 songs. So therefore, it all comes out to at least 18 songs, and since this is, of course, hardcore punk, it's not very relatively short. I tried my best to also come up with the time length, but be quite honest, when most of the songs almost barely clock a minute in, it's not that long. It's like almost close to maybe 20 minutes or so. It's not very long. So that's my guesstimation. Yes, you heard me right, guesstimation, because I'm only guessing on how long this compilation is. But these 18 songs are, let me see if I can best try and pronounce all of these. Peace Bait, Bilderberg, Hiding Behind the Flag, My Foreign Policy, Anti-Hoplophobe, The Immigrant Song, no, it is not a Led Zeppelin cover, The Rape Song, Campaign Finance Reform, Warning, which is a PTL Club cover. And then, of course, Lousy Luck, Carl Drega, Through Your Heart, Blind Guides, Throw It Off, Crosses We Bear, Confluence. Yeah, I said that right. Confluence. The Thing Called Progress, which is a Poison Idea cover, and then The End. So there's your 18 songs. That's the best I can run through. Again, I'm looking a lot of the track listing on the, for sure, the Bandcamp page here. So, since I kind of already alluded that there's more to the backstory, I'm going to read it off of here. So this is all taken from the Bandcamp page. All right, their Bandcamp page. Again, they were formed in early 2002. 8 times C times Proclamation and Kavorian's Angels alumni joined forces in You're Fired, a fast, raw, hardcore punk band. We played sporadic live shows, and RSR released our Warning EP. We wrote other songs, but Seth, our member of the band, died unexpectedly in 2011. With the help of Seth's longtime collaborator Polly, we recorded the songs properly as a farewell to our fallen brother. Thus ends the story of You're Fired. So that gives you the idea that hence why there were 2 releases under the band's belt is because of one of the band members ended up passing away, so therefore it stopped them from going any further. So basically what they were able to finish is what got finished, and there was no plans on doing any or staying reformed and so on, so they just called it quits, basically saying they're done. So that kind of that's pretty much the whole entire backstory. That's what I want to kind of running through. So as far as the brand of hardcore punk that they play, well, if you didn't get the raw hardcore punks analogy or the styling there, then you probably obviously don't know what that even means, because that just means it's absolutely fast. There's just no breaks, no nothing. It's just run through every bit of the songs like there is no tomorrow. It might as well be the apocalypse that is coming, because it's just absolutely chaos. And that's the best way I can describe a lot of this. Because really, there's, again, I can try my best on detailing every single song, but to be quite honest, that can get tiresome. And that's not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that because of it just speeds right through everything. It might as well be a chainsaw. That's the way that you get. But again, these 2 EPs that are on this compilation cassette that Doomsday's Today Records had released, again, it was on August 19th of 2020 that this cassette was released, which I forgot to say at the around the intro part. I forgot to say that. But again, it's not a big deal. A lot of these, again, it's actually, again, these are 2 very enjoyable hardcore punk releases. Again, I definitely compare them to like either Minor Threat. I can compare them to even like Corrosion of Conformity. I can hear some Poison Idea stuff. I mean, their cover of The Thing Called Progress is a very good cover. They did a very good job, and that's a band I'm not very familiar with, but they pull it off. And you can also hear some similarities to even early DRI. It's there. It's just more louder, more raw, more in your face, just more angrier as well in that regard. It's definitely, there's some good stuff. I mean, just check out some of the songs, like, for example, Peace Bait, Bilderberg, My Foreign Policy, which, again, all the 3 songs I picked out that are, at least to me, are highlights from the Warning EP. And then, of course, the very second EP, The End, from the very last EP. I mean, check out some of the songs like Lousy Luck, Carl Drega, Blind Guides, Throw It Off, Crosses We Bear, this thing called Progress, which is actually one of the best covers they've done. Between this and the PTL Club cover, I think the Poison Idea cover is my favorite of the 2. And then the very last song on The End, well, that'd be the title track. They're all good songs. So, I mean, if you just straight up, just angry pissed off hardcore punk, this is right up your alley. This is some good stuff. Again, if I have to pick a favorite between the two EPs, I think I definitely go for the end, actually. I think it just has a more of a heavier sound to compare to. It just sounds even meaner, more angrier, more piss and vinegar. That's why I definitely dig off of this, off these two. But again, I think my favorite is the end. It just seems to be the most memorable to me, and that's not a way knocking any of this stuff. It just that's how I just feel, just great. But again, these are both two good EPs. Again, if you want to actually be able to at least secure a copy of this cassette, since it's at least the only stuff I think that is, at least right now, physically affordable. Again, you can go on to, of course, Doomsday's Today Records Bandcamp page, which I'll leave I'll leave the link in the description box. Again, you can get it for at least $5. Again, there's at least there still seems to be plenty of copies left, anyways. So there's not even any mention of if there's anything left or not. It just seems to definitely seems to be in print. But again, I'm gonna leave also a link to for sure their Bandcamp page as well. I mean, Your Fired's Bandcamp page. So that's about it I could say. So there you go. There is my review for Warning / The End from You're Fired, and I'm actually going to give this a rating. It's a 8 out of 10. First rating score for, of course, the new year, and I think this was actually a good one to do. So there you go. I hope all of you enjoyed this. Again, if you're not familiar with this, I definitely recommend checking these guys out if you're into at least hardcore punk and so on, if you like that kind of stuff. Again, I do have at least some fun stuff for this kind of stuff as well. Again, I wouldn't name some of the comparisons if I was never even into the genre to begin with. So there you go. Again, like I've stated in the review here, I'm going to leave links to, of course, Doomsday's Today Records Bandcamp page and Your Fired's Bandcamp page. So you can definitely be able to check this stuff out. Again, the only way you can purchase this cassette right here is off of Doomsday's Today Records Bandcamp page. But if you want to listen to this stuff, you have to go to Your Fired's Bandcamp page. So there you go. I hope all of you enjoyed. It's now on to next week's Doomsday's Today Records review, and I forgot to pull out the cassette that I was going to review, but you know what, I'm just gonna leave that up for guessing. If any of you are even familiar with the label, again, it might as well be a surprise, though it depends on if you even care for the surprise. All right, I hope all of you enjoyed. Welcome 2021. Take care, and I hope all of you had a good New Year's. Take care.